So is it working? Oh yeah. So hello everyone. So today we're talking how not to repeat your mistakes. And previous time previous times I would say I made the same mistakes nearly all the time, and mistakes were uh, I had the lack of detachment. Like I did not completely refute my ideas. Even I aware of this. Even I know this is my mistakes, which we usually make. Uh, yeah, because of lack of detachment, I could not refute it, and so I couldn't solve puzzles. And the basic problem, which we all the basic mistakes we usually make are dumb, simple candidates, most candidates ideas. So in many situations, I didn't ask myself, what are my candidates most? And there were simple ideas which I missed because I didn't list candidates ideas for myself and for my opponent. And when you notice your mistakes, you need to just pay more attention. Like, okay, so I need to put more effort to refute my ideas, to detach from beautiful ideas, and to make things simple. Yes, it's practical pattern. Not only refute your ideas, but can I make it simpler? Like beautiful ideas are always complex. And another point is, can I what are my candidates most and what are candidates most of my opponents? Just ask it more. When you notice your mistakes, just correct it. Yes, not repeat it over and over. Okay, today we have major ending, and this is beautiful because usually major endings are so complex, so many different ideas and many different patterns. Let's scan the position from the beginning. So first it show, of course, is king safety and good news, or I would say bad news for us. Like good news from the chess perspective, yeah, our king is safe. There is no clear counterpoint to attack something close to our king. Not much squares. Yeah, and it takes a lot of time. But bad news simultaneously from the solving puzzles. If we don't have clear threats to our king, it means we have a lot of silent moves from our side. Like it can be something like rook c8 cut the king. It can be something queen c1 cut the king, and we have more candidates, most ideas, because now opponent cannot, an example, takes rook g2 and give some perpetual check. So that means puzzle will be more complex. And so king is relatively safe. This king is also relatively safe because it's protected by the pawns and the queen. Yeah, it's not easy to target the king here. It's very hard. Potential target, of course, can be queen because there are some skewers. King still can be target. Yeah, rook can be target in case potentially can be target before pawn also target, and f7 pawn, of course, target. In some cases, it can be e6 pawn or even e6 d5 pawn if you undermine chain. An example, if you provoke f6, e6 is weak, and or you take f7, and it's not if you win f7 pawn, it doesn't make much, but if you win e6 pawn, it can be just devastating, because if you win e6 pawn, you have 2 extra pawns, and the king is not protected anymore. Like now, king is relatively safe, many options to move and defended by the pawns, and the queen is covering 7th rank. But if you can remove these pawns, you can win the game. So we identify the targets, and the king is never target, as I always remind you. So look for the critical squares close to the king, like which of these squares you can attack. And yeah, if you notice, I showed you all the squares and d6, d5 squares, and in this case, d6 is also square, attacking square. Why? And usually I say you don't attack d6 square with the king, but in this case, if king move to the side, yes, you can attack d6 square. Yeah, this is something to notice. So never be dogmatic, as I always say to my students. Okay, and if I must start to solve this puzzle, the first question I would ask myself: what is the main point? I will try to see targets, because if you don't see targets, you don't see ways to do anything. And yeah, h-pawn can be just winning at some point. And usually in major endings, we see the option to shrink the box first. We don't give many checks. We don't try to do anything, but we trying to cut the king, don't allow it to escape. But in this scenario, I think there is some tactical potential to attack f7 pawn, because king has not much options. It cannot move to the 7th rank in Endorfer here. And if he moves to this side, it somehow can be skewer for the queen. And if he moves here, it somehow can be rook c8. And he again cannot move to b7, b6, potentially can move to b5, but it may be something like queen d6 and rook b8, like we have +1, and this is rook, and potentially we can trap the queen. Yeah, it seems like if we push king to b5 or b6, so just visualize, notice, I do not calculate, because if you just calculate everything, you will get mad, you know. I just want to understand the position. Okay. And I feel if king will move to this side and I bring my queen to d6, notice this was the again was scanning technique. Yes, I can win the game, because after rook b8, let's say, I can simply trap the queen. Yes, to win the queen here. And also notice it was scanning, we attacking the queen. Yes, not only the king, the queen, f7 pawn, b4 pawn, and in some cases rooks. If the rook, if there is disconnection between the rook and the queen, checking diagonals, like in visualization here would be pretty damn good visualization if you see a2 rook as handing piece through all these pawns. Yes, diagonal. Yep. Diagonally, yeah. And why is it so good? Because obviously here is, I mean, it's unimaginable how can you attack the rook by using this diagonal. But in case you can check it, it won't work in this puzzle. But if you check it even in this position, I mean, you will always see a possibility to attack rook in this way, always, whenever you play chess. And it will make your chess very simple, and you will just see what no one sees. Okay. So and now we move to Candida's moves ideas. Classically, we need to check all forcing moves, like all checks, but because it's major ending, we need to check shrink the box pattern when we don't allow king to escape. But because I feel king here is very safe, surrounded by the pawns, and initially I wanted to push king here. I will try to see, is it possible to push king to b6, b5 first, forcibly. And yeah, so the ways to push king to this is queen f4, rook d8. Main moves pushing the king. Let's say rook d8, king c7 is not the option. I bring the queen. It seems bad. Yeah, but he has Candida's moves here, like this. But I assume king c6 is the most logical move. King c5 is also possible, but I want to see, can I push the king more? Queen c1. My idea is to push him to b6, b5 as I wanted. And let's say he moves actually to b6, rook d6. So I assume b5. And now I have feeling it's very close to winning, right? With king on b5. Very, very close to winning. Yeah, queen f1 maybe geometrically. And I give back, but the idea is here somehow. Maybe rook d6, king c7, and f7 is weak now, but I don't see how can it work. Like rook trapped, rook is trapped. Also, yeah, it's one option. Yes, like queen c1, king b5. It's very, very good position. No, it's very, very good position. Like rook c8 can connect pieces, and not many options to defend. Like queen b6 maybe, but now b8 is available, and queen f1, rook a8 available is winning. Yeah, queen f1, rook a8 is winning. Queen b7, c5, we can automatically draw back principle. Yeah, and I don't see how he can defend c6 square. I assume if he plays rook d8, queen c1, and rook c8, we are winning because we connect pieces, and queen c6 is direct threat, and also queen f1, rook a8 is possibility. It seems just winning for me. Okay, this quick evaluation is very important. Otherwise, you can solve puzzles forever. Another possibility is rook d8. I don't think king c7 when is the move queen e7. Our pieces are just amazingly placed. It has to be winning. And let's say he is trying to escape to the center with king c5 with idea to run away to d4. But it seems like even queen c1, queen c4 pin there is possible. But yeah, because I checked c4 square, I see it immediately before, but it doesn't work, I assume. But it's very, very good tactical potential here. This diagonal, this square, and after he moves to d4, maybe something else. Rook d8, king c5. Okay, before moving deeper, we need to evaluate. Can we just play queen f4, rook c8, let's say, and queen f1 there, or queen e3 eventually, or if e5, maybe queen f6, king c5, rook c8, king d4, queen f6, queen f5, maybe just take this pawn also. I mean, queen f4 is also nice, it looks nice. Very hard to find clear defense. But I feel like rook g8 is almost winning. Like king c6, queen c1, and rook c8 is just over. Rook d8, king c5, but it doesn't look right. Can we just play rook c8? d6, b5, d4, d6. It's definitely improvement. Like rook c8, king d6 is definitely improvement. King d4. It has to be winning somehow, but I don't see right now how. Maybe queen e3 showing the box, don't allow king to move to d4. And if king b5, the same idea with queen d3. Maybe. Oh, wait, can I play queen c1 the same? Ah, yeah, I checked it. Yeah, I checked this idea first. But it doesn't look correct. Yeah, rook d8, king c5, maybe possibility. And I don't see clearly. right now, but I may be wrong, of course. That's why many times these puzzles we can solve by the rook c8. We simply don't allow defensive trick with king c5, king d4, something like that. But a lot of check, a lot of options to check. Of course, I want to play rook d8 and win the game if it's possible. It's very forceful line. Maybe before is weak, like queen f4, then with idea rook c8, rook b8, and take before pawn. Like rook d8, king c5, queen f4, shrink the box, preventing d4, and the idea rook c8, rook b8. Is it winning? Queen c4, queen b4 also threat. Wait, queen c4, dc, what am I smoking? Yeah, queen f4 seems strong after that. Maybe there are multiple options to win, but I feel like queen f4 is very strong, but computer can find some tricks to defend this position. Rook c8 is the threat. Rook a6. No, then rook c8 and queen f2. The skewer. King b5, rook b8, rook b6. Maybe. I probably too much attached to idea with 3, 5. 3. This is 6. Seems very bad. But there are also zillions of other options for my opponent. Okay, rook d8 seems good. Queen f4 also seems good, yes. Let's say 5. Can I quickly find the way to refute that queen f4? Queen f6, queen f5 is an option and it seems powerful. Rook b8, queen d5, everything is collapsing. It's just very, very bad position if we take e4. There are too many weaknesses. It can be just winning. King c6. But then rook c8. And no king b7, no king b6, only king b5, and we come back to queen f1 line. Yeah. And after queen f4, less options. So if queen f4, king e7, another option, d7, no option, f7 is hanging. c6, c7, c5, but then rook c8. Yes, c6, c7, or not c7. e5, e7, d7, c6, c5. Well, but the idea is king c6, rook c8. And we come back to the same scenario, like queen f1 here. And queen from f4 attacking f7 also. We give to opponent less options. And king c5, rook c8, it doesn't work. We come back to the same. Queen for king e7 seems shaky. f7 is very weak. But maybe rook c8, rook c7 from here, and seems like a very, very dangerous position. Like king d7 probably only move. And we come back here. Rook f8, rook f7, it has to be winning. Like, I mean, it's so bad position for black to play. Be aware of rook g2, queen a2, but it doesn't look right. Yeah, I feel like queen f4 just less defensive ideas. Like after rook d8, king c5 are defensive idea. I could miss something on the surface, but it's still the most forceful moves. Like also is possible queen g3, but doesn't make sense. We don't target f7. Also possible rook c8 in the box. Don't allow king c5 and then eventually queen f4, rook f8, something like that. Also, but why not just queen f4? e5 is seems like only but then queen f6, rook c8, queen c6, rook a8, no f5 at all. Even don't need to take on e5. Okay, I assume queen f4 is winning. And now we play rook c8, queen f1, and connect pieces. King d7, rook f8 is just GG, why not? Queen c7, rook f7, let's check. Yeah, rook g2 was my idea, and queen a2, but I didn't think it's good. King g3, queen b3, even king h4 out of check, and queen c4 cannot be correct, cannot be right. Like takes rook f7, king g5, whatever, cannot be right. Candidates moves. And queen c1 is also candidate move, yeah. Connect pieces together. But why rook f8 is not winning? Then also what's next? Queen c6, king e7, and king should just start to run away. No, rook f1 seems just GG, why not? If I cannot refute it, why don't play? Oh, wait. There is defensive trick I always miss, like a quite advanced pattern. We see f7, when f7 collapses, like it's this idea, like when f7 collapses, it's like, oh, I win the game. It's the pawn goes to the king with the check. And there is sometimes defensive trick when he can sacrifice this pawn. And it's not the final target, like, okay, rook f8, and he plays king c6. Yeah, a very interesting idea. But then queen c1, now rook f7. c7 is weak, e6 is weak. The king is weak. And he has to defend c7 also as white queen b6. But this idea exists, like rook f8, king c6. Rook f7, queen b6. But yet it's, of course, it seems like winning. Because our pieces are so well coordinated. Also, rook f8, king c6 is not only option, rook takes f7. What is another option? What was another option? Rook f8, king c6. There is multiple options after king c6. Queen b4 is also option. Rook f7 is also option. Queen c1 is also option. If something is not winning, there is something must win there. Queen c1 or another, but it doesn't look correct after queen c6, king e7, rook c7 idea. Yeah, maybe. Okay, what is the threat? Just these squares, it's possible to defend it. Yeah, by the process of elimination, queen b6, b7 after queen c1 is something holdable. Yeah. So rook f8 is logical. Yeah, this is over. And let's check with the engine. King c6 is doesn't it even doesn't see its winning initially. Rook f7 is possible. Rook c8 is also move. Queen b6. And it says queen e5 attacking next weakness. And by the way, this was what we scanned, yeah, like, and also h-pawn. We like all this ideas we just could scan. H-pawn, taking f7, taking f6, all of that were there. Queen e5 is logical move, but it's very, very tough here to choose exactly queen e5. Like, it's logical, but very tough. Like king b5, and she suggests rook e8. I'm not sure I would find queen e5 because too many options, too many good moves, and practically it's very hard position to block. What else? Initially, initial idea were rook d8 and king c5. Yes, king c5 is the right idea to refute it. With the idea king d4. Yeah. And another option, like queen f4 and king c6. How did he play? King c6, rook c8, and king d7. He played, and yeah, and then king b6, queen d6. Obviously, another idea was here, and queen d6 even stronger, but queen f1 also possible. Wow, queen c1 is not winning. Queen f4 and queen d6 is winning. I actually went wrong here. Queen d7 and defending everything somehow. Wow, this is very tough. And he moved king to b7 and defending all critical squares around the king. Yeah, I missed it. That's why it's very good to check a lot. Like this one is nice position. Wow. Yeah, I thought queen f1, queen c1 connecting the queen and the rook. But queen d7 and just nothing. And the right move is, oops, just queen d6. Boom. And what's his idea after rook b6? Rook b8, rook b6. Just square the h4. I guess king can just stop the pawn and this pawn. Square, yeah. But yet it's not that easy to spot. I also I was thinking about this defensive idea, rook a6, rook b6, and honestly, I didn't see clearly I can move, just trade everything and promote this pawn and stop this pawn. Honestly, I didn't see it, and basically, it's not what I would do. Like, yeah, and this is something to notice. Like, sometimes it's just better to trade everything. It's just simpler. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you could enjoy. Yeah, enjoy. And so key takeaways from this position. Just give to your opponents as less as possible options here, like king d7, rook f8. It was not yes, the key pattern. What was the key pattern here? Like, yeah, but probably the best pattern is actually where if he plays king b5 here, exactly queen d6, queen f1. What did I miss here? Queen f1. I missed king b6, queen c1, and I missed queen d7. Nice defensive trick, like defending second square. Like if it seems like I'm attacking c5, but he just can't defend c6. Like queen d7. Don't defend c5. Defend just next squares. It's possible, and also quite nice castling, piece castling. What else did I miss? It's very important button to see what did you miss. It's the most important for you. And yeah, and another cool moment is here. Yeah, like just write everything. It's very, I mean, it must check. Must check. If I wasn't clear about that, it's must check option. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video, and I wish you happiness from Cambodia and Saxabai. I'm looking how to start the video. And hey, with okay, stop, share, and okay. Bye bye.